What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff Bailey, and welcome back for what will be our last episode of Spanish knives. This is the pricier knife that I bought while I was over there. It's a little more handmade. It is also from Albacete, from a maker is Exposito knives. So we're going to take a look at that today. It's got a locking mechanism on it that I've never seen before. So it's pretty cool. Let's check it out. Here we are with the finale. So this knife was one that actually came in a fancier box. This was a handmade knife from what I believe is Exposito knives in Albacete. I fussed over which one of their knives to get for a while because they had a lot. See, you got Exposito Artesanos. We'll take a look at the knife in a minute. They have this very fancy little certificate of authenticity, I suppose, here. And now this is going to be in Spanish, of course, but hecho a mano. This is handmade, and the guy's name is Jose Exposito Picasso. You can Google translate this, but basically this is saying that all the pieces and everything were adjusted, tweaked, and picked out and formed by a single individual person. Here's the Hecho in Albacete. There's a signature there for Jose Exposito Picasso. One thing that's funny here is this word abedul. I was looking that up because there's a sticker on the box that I was given at the store. I didn't realize it so much later. Abedul translates to birch. I think this is Thuya burl, which I've seen on some Chris Reeve knives, I think, and some other high-end knives. So anyway, here we go. See, this is Thuya burl, right, guys? Let me know in the comments if you think I'm right there. But this is what I picked out. This is a pretty sweet knife here. I like the wood. I don't have one of this knife. You probably noticed the steel. This is a Damascus Blade. Has a very easy to open, center closing. The end's probably a little bit rough, but center closing knife. Now here's the interesting lock mechanism here. I had to look up what this was even called. I had not seen this in person before. This is a clasp lock. So what happens is there's a little notch here, you can see, and there's basically a little bar, I don't really know how to capture it, down there in the knife. And so what'll happen is I'll go to open this up. Maybe this is a good way to do it. I don't know if we'll be able to see. And there's some resistance there, and it snaps down into place. This ends up being a spring basically here that pushes down to hold the knife in place around this pivot. So let me show you that again. Kind of a weird unlocking mechanism. Opening is really easy. As I pull this open, you'll see this, I'm trying not to stab myself with the end of this sharp knife here. You'll see this whole thing will raise up like a spring and pop down into place. And so the way you unlock the clasp locking knife like this, because this is locking now, so this is open, there's a little bit of play here, because really this is just kind of a pin that goes in place here to keep this locked. The way you open this, you got this little handle on the back here that you lift up, which disengages it, and then you fold that back down, and then now the knife is just loose again, and you just push that back closed. And I think it's just kind of friction kind of keeps it closed. It doesn't really pull open unless I kind of tug on it. Once it hits here, it gets pretty loose. But anyway, locking mechanism aside, I just thought this was a really pretty knife. I mean, obviously this is not a hard work knife. This is mostly decorative, but there's some really cool features here. Locking mechanism aside, take a look at the stamp here. We can see Exposito Albacete, clearly Damascus steel that they've got here. Not exactly to a polished finish, but it has a nice edge on it. They've got an extension here at the base, so you got a lot of room you can sharpen. And on this side you can see that this is VG-10 Damascus. It's been kind of, literally stamped there. Not so much. Maybe that's a laser etch. I'm not sure. So sharp knife, nice, just kind of basic drop point, typical nail nick that you'd expect to see there. And then we come down to this really nice Thuya burl wood. We've got a Mosaic Pin here. We've got steel construction. We've got the clasp lock back here, and then even just the, I don't want to call it a back spring. I don't know what the right wording would be, but it's got a satin finish on it, and you can see that there's custom file work that goes along the back of this piece. That's done in here, and it's very clearly like this probably actually could have been cleaned up a little bit better. It's one of those things, like some of the stuff that make it obvious that this is handmade is that there's little human errors in here. So it really goes to show what they do over a place like Great Eastern, where you don't find things like this as much. They have somewhat problems. I'm not going to say they're perfect, but some more stuff stood out to me about this knife. The play a little bit, but that could just be sort of in the design of the way that the locking mechanism works. I've never had a locking knife like this before. But some of that peening work around these pins, some even just those pins a little bit, there's just something off there that you can tell that somebody just worked on this individually there. See down in the tray there, is that wood down there? I've actually never noticed that before. Or is that some kind of metal? I honestly can't tell. At least can't tell while I'm filming. Maybe it'll be obvious later. So this is, I guess, not a back spring in this knife. That's almost just like a spacer, right, to act as the backbone of the knife. But if we take a look back, it's really just a handsome knife that I'm pretty satisfied with sitting on my shelf. I didn't have this kind of wood before, so I like adding that. I like the blade shape. I like that it's Damascus. I like that it's a unique opening mechanism, and I think it just has a nice shape to it too. It's kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a sleeve board where it's wider this end and this end, but it's more angular, and it's a lot larger too. I mean, this is a fairly large size knife. But yeah, I thought that was just a really cool overall package. Not like anything that I had, not like anything that I've ever seen in a store around here. So I'm really pleased overall. So anyway, that's been a handmade knife by Jose Exposito in Albacete. VG-10 steel, what I believe is Thuya burl, clasp locking mechanism. Really cool, unique package. Tell me what you guys think. You love it or hate it? Look forward to seeing what you guys put in the comments. Thanks for watching the series. Let me know, did you like the series? You know, we could do sort of shorter videos like this, focus in on some different knives, some ones that I've had in the past. It was kind of fun to do this, to just sit down and knock out a bunch of different videos, and hopefully it's kept you guys entertained and you've enjoyed seeing them at a faster pace. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I got a few more knives in, the Great Eastern, more of the typical stuff. We'll be reviewing those next probably, so stay tuned. Catch you guys next time.